and the occasional technical mishap.
And there's always a technical mishap when I'm involved. Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Sportcat Show. I'm your host, Glenn Sportcat Jackson. We are live on Dare Talk Radio in Radio Country, or is it Radio X Country? I don't know. I got to get that straight. So everybody come over and join us and get in the chat. We have a great show lined up tonight. I have my wonderful and beautiful co-host here, Miss Harley. She was hiding back there. How are you, Harley?
I'm good.
Did I catch you eating?
Mm-hmm. My food just got here. I ordered it an hour and a half ago.
Well, okay. Well, we'll excuse you this one time. Good Lord. So as
I'm
you
a
know,
mess. You should know that by now.
You are a hot mess. As you know, every week we have two guests, and our first, Jocie. She's an author, and she's got a dog book out. A dog book is, no, I've said it wrong. She's got a book out about Let Sleeping Dogs Lie. It's a cyber mystery. I said it was a dog book. It's not really a dog book. It's kind of a sci-fi book. You know what? I'm screwing this up.
Let her explain it.
Yeah, I'm just butchering this horribly.
I can explain it, but yes.
Well, I was trying not to. I know it's a sci-fi, a mystery, and there's a dog, Pip.
Well, I think I
Hello,
invented it.
Monica.
Hi there. I think I invented a new one. It's a cozy cyber mystery. That's what it is. Kind of a new genre, actually, because I've incorporated, robotics and AI into a cozy detective mystery.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, it's kind of scary, too, with AI.
Especially since you can't tell what's real and fake with AI nowadays.
Yeah, it's difficult with many productions that AI does.
Yes.
Well, they're going to be our alien overlords one day. I'm convinced of it. So as soon as AI can figure out how to rule the world, we are done as a society.
Yeah, I have visions of Arnold Schwarzenegger, that kind of thing, in the movies.
Yep, exactly. So now this isn't the first book you've written. Now, is this a part of the other series, or is this an independent one?
No, this is actually a brand new series. This is my 22nd book. And basically,
Wow.
Cozies, as well as romantic comedies. And then I have two that are kind of occult fantasy. I mean, somebody might put them in there, but still mystery. I wrote one of my first series was a romantic comedy set in Wyoming, and everybody that read it came to me and said, "Girl, you're not writing romance. It's not romantic comedy. You have dead bodies. You're writing a cozy."
But see, that's my type of books. I would absolutely 100% read it. So I need your list of books.
Well, thank you. That's
only because Glenn knows how I am with books.
Yes.
I am on book 13 of a series, and I've only been reading it for a week.
You sound like me. If there's letters on it, there's words on it, I will read it.
Exactly.
Because most of my background is in words. So,
well, sometimes it's better to escape to the book than to have to deal with society and life and everything going on around you.
I agree. And I've had people tell me as an author, well, and there are many authors who already do this. They make an impact. They make a statement. They make whether it's political or an observatory statement. And I do none of that. I write pure, absolute escapism. That's it. I don't, if you get a statement out of mine, that's great, but that's not my intention. Mine is I want to help people escape from reality.
Fun.
Exactly. That's how you know it's a good book, when you could read it and then escape from reality.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, your dog is, or the dog is a PIP stands for, was it prototype, personality of prototype? I'm doing it wrong. But Pip is a robotic dog.
It is.
He is sent after the main character for a reason.
Yes. The book starts out, this girl she's kind of reclusive. and she likes working remotely from home. She doesn't really like peopling because of an incident that happened. Her father was a Cincinnati police officer, detective. He was killed in the line of duty, and she saw it. So that kind of set her into almost a self-imposed isolationism. And it was her coping mechanism. But she works for a company. This company sends her to a tech conference at a local convention center. So she begrudgingly does it because she needs the paycheck. And as she's there,
most of us go out and cope with society as a paycheck.
That's it. Yes. So while she's there, she kind of meets a gentleman she went to college with, and he's the son of a tech person. And as she's leaving, she basically trips over this guy she went to school with, dead body, and someone killed him. And mostly the premise of the book is they want Pip. And so when she gets home after all of this nasty business is handled, Pip is in her house. And his original programming and the premise of his invention was to be a service dog for humans.
Okay.
And I have a very good friend. I was a librarian for roughly 20 years. And one of the ladies that used to come in was a Guiding Eyes puppy raiser. She raised them for like the first 18 months till they went on to get their training to be Guiding Eyes dogs. And what I didn't realize until I met her was they have a very short service life because their job is so stressful, especially those that live in cities or maybe work with people who are in corporate type jobs and have to fly and travel. So they're only useful until they almost kind of physically and mentally break down for about 6 to 7 years. And that's a very short lifespan, especially if you're like me. I have my dogs laying here now, this love of dogs. And even though it just takes them out of service, not out of life. Let me clarify. So my thought was, well, if they can make these AI robotic dogs for military applications and things like that, why can't they make one for service dogs that would last?
That's a good question.
A person's lifetime and could be programmed for multiple handicaps, disabilities, or services that they need. So that's where Pip came from.
And it was the way things change in society. Things change too. So program them to do new things if needed.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he could, have a battery be plugged in for an hour and ready to go for 24 to 48 hours and reprogrammed as the person or persons needed him to be.
I like it. I like that a lot.
Y'all need to call Elon or somebody like that and have them,
You hear that, Brenda? You're in the chat. Call Elon. So she claims.
No, this is Joyce's thing. She gives credit for it.
Yeah, give it to Joyce. Call
call her, let her know. She'll give you the idea, but it's her idea, so pay her for it.
That's right.
I only take a little bit of royalty. I'll share. I'm not that.
Hey, you can buy me an ice cream sandwich. I'll be good. So now, I like that. We've had we had a comic book author on who did Devil Dog, and it was a robotic dog set in the future, and it was programmed because there was a lack of police to patrol like shopping centers and malls. Of course, it would give you the punishment right away. If it caught you shoplifting, it would bite your hand off. But it decided it broke away from the corporate world and chased a kid home, and it became the kid's protector. So we had that, and I had another dog story on. I can't remember it. Now, did you have any inspirational dogs? Like, I know this will sound weird, but I'm a comic book geek, like Super Dog or any of the comic book characters or cartoon character dogs or even Hollywood.
No, really. Honestly, my inspiration, besides the lady who was the Guiding Eyes, is, I don't know, you've probably seen it on social media where there's these military dogs and there's this group of geeky people trying to kick it and knock it over and bullying it. And so I thought, one of these days the dogs, maybe it's got feelings and maybe it shouldn't be bullied. I hate bullies. So, he wasn't really based on any other dog other than maybe my border collie a little bit because she's got the most soulful eyes in the world. And he doesn't talk. I didn't want it to be a talking dog. So all of his emotion is expressed through his eyes, which do change color. And he also loves fuzzy dice that he finds in a salvage yard. So, whenever he wants something, he brings his fuzzy dice.
Yes. Border collies do. You can read their eyes. My dog will spend the entire day on the computer and she'll just come up here and stare at me. I'm like, yeah, I know.
No, she won't just stare at you. She'll go into that little spot right there on the bed where you could see her. And
between
she
the
will
window
stare at you.
Yes. So they have this stare. They're like,
yes, exactly. So,
like I have sat there and watched her while we do the podcast, just stand there and stare at him.
Oh, we have squirrels and deer. We live out in a very rural area, but I threatened someday to get her a sheep. So
she just herds my grandson when we're back in Atlanta. Well, that's I do like the premise of that, and you're right. They're using dogs now robot dogs now. I know Boston police were one of the first agencies to use them, and the military's been using them. In fact, they run the Boston Marathon now alongside the runners. Did you know that?
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're armed, but like the military's armed.
Was either until she found out that he was, but her father being a detective and killed in the line of duty, there is a line in the book where she looks at Pip after he does save her at one point. She saves him at one point and said, into every police officer's life, a little Pip should fall, for their protection as a police officer, a first responder, that type of thing. And to a point, I agree with that too. I don't want them to take the place of that human touch, but, I certainly would rather see the dog go out there and defuse a bomb than a human, especially if I'm related to it. So.
Well, even if I'm not related, because
a
robotic dog can.
Yeah.
If they could teach it to smell like a dog, I'm sure with AI they can probably come up with something.
They advances with that. They have some robotic dogs now that I know real dogs can smell something like 250,000 scents, and the robotic dogs now with the algorithms and chips and everything in them, they're getting up there, especially with explosives. I don't know about other things, but with explosives, they 20-some thousand different scents.
Yes.
At Walmart, they have this little dog that's a robot dog that you could buy, and it does everything except poop on the floor like real dogs. So we're going to get that for my son for Christmas. It does everything, like it walks, it scratches, it does everything but poops on the floor. Yes, something like that. But no, it actually looks like a dog.
He looked like Pip.
Oh, no, this one actually looks like a little husky.
Oh.
And then they have one that's poofy, white and poofy.
Yeah.
And
we're getting it for my son for Christmas because I don't want to clean up after a dog. So
she's gotta have it right.
Dog.
You hear my dog is talking to my mom right now, telling her to feed me. So she wants treats. So. Chris in the chat says, given the mixture of mystery and dog, I have to ask if Jocie was influenced in her career by being a Scooby-Doo fan like myself.
Oh my God, I love Scooby-Doo. I think I've seen every Scooby-Doo cartoon since I was 8 years old. Yes.
Yes, Scooby was my favorite. So one of my favorites. So, well, you talked about being a first responder. I told you backstage I was a paramedic, and one of the things we're in the just to circle back to the hazmat stuff. They have a machine. Well, they had a machine. This is 2001, so it's probably much more advanced now than we know. But you could literally put in just a microscopic amount of anything. I'm talking any chemical, any material, anything, and it would break it down within minutes and tell you where it came from, who made it. And I mean, it was incredible. So I'm sure they're making the advances in AI. So
leaps and bounds. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like once they cross a certain threshold, then it's open season with having so many advantages to that. I mean, as many disadvantages as there is to AI, there's many advantages too. And I think in the not too distant future, there's going to have to be legislation and things like that that come with that.
Oh yeah, they're going to have to. Well, I mean, a
Figure
lot
out
of people now are
something.
using it as their friends. You know, a lot of people are lonely and they talk to AI like it's their friend. So, I mean, I find it kind of weird, but I'm sure if you were alone, that if that was the only voice you had, you might do it. So,
Yeah.
So now I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. You said this was the beginning of a series. So is Pip in Hope going to be in the series for a while, or is the series about them, or how's it?
This is the first book in the series. I have the second one 3/4 of the way done. So it'll be to the editor probably by the end of December. And basically it'll be up to the readers if it's, something that they want to read and that I can make an income from. They decide. So if they do love it and I get good reviews and sales, then I'd love to keep it up because it is tremendously fun. And I'm the friend you should never sit next to in a very serious situation. And this personality comes out in this book quite a bit.
That's good. That's good. Now, so how long does it take you to write a book?
It depends. Most of the time I can do it in about 3 months unless, life gets in the way, and life gets in the way quite a bit, the real world job, life, etc. But realistically, 3 to 6 months.
That's
not too bad.
No.
No, I've had some people tell me months and years. And
write one in about 60 days, but I can't do that.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Yeah, that's short.
Good. I mean, I'm impressed, but that's not me.
I couldn't do that. I can barely hold together a show for 60 days or 60 days ahead schedule wise. But yeah.
Hey, I've got all of my show scheduled out till April or May.
So you're organized.
Whether we actually do them or not, that's a different story.
Oh, I have great plans. The follow through.
So you said 22 other books.
Yes.
The others were a series also?
I have a couple of series. One is The Three Bears, which is the romantic comedy series. And basically it's the Bear brothers set in Wyoming, ranch families, blah, 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 and the weird women that drop into their world quite literally. So it's a romantic comedy and it's meant to be kind of fun and lighthearted, but I still tend to put a mystery in the background. It's just me. And then I have one that's a tea leaf reader. She's in a mobile tea truck. And then I have a Tesla Files that is set in Ohio. And because I'm sure you've seen some of these science fiction things about these specific hangars at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And we'll just leave it there.
I live in Ohio.
You? Okay. Well, when I was a kid, back then they had programs that you could go to high school part-time and work part-time. So I worked at the base for the Air Force for 4 years in high school. So yeah.
Cool. You've seen the aliens then.
No comment.
Okay, I like it. So, well, you'll have to do an autobiography on tell us about the aliens. So.
And I also have a series called Mason Dixon, and it's a detective series with twin sisters who, until the first book, didn't know the other one existed. And I laugh because I always laugh and say I'm my family's token Yankee because most all of my family is from the South. And when I was a small child, my mother used to laugh and call me Mason Dixon because I'd go from, y'all want to go over here to you guys want to do this in the same sentence because, it was what I heard. And so I thought it would be funny. And it was. It's been fun to write a series with detective sisters, which one is from Boston and one is from Talladega, Alabama. So and I really amplify some of the stereotypes to make it funner.
Good.
And they are Audible. I just looked. She has a few that are on Audible.
Good.
I do? I was like...
That's what they came up as, gave you the Audible option.
Oh. I don't know.
Shocked her.
I had an Elon Audible. I have to look.
You wonder where all that money's Mickey's been having. Well, so was any of this police work real life inspiration stuff for you, or because you sound like you really like mysteries? So
the Mason-Dixon obviously was, and the Tesla files, because I've read a lot about Tesla. I'm a science geek and nerd. Yeah, there's a lot more to some of the stories, and even if there's not, I invent things that's a lot more to the stories. But I think that's fun. I mean, I'm the person who loves, as the gentleman said, Scooby-Doo and Star Trek and Jack Carr and the Bourne conspiracies and all of those. Those are fun. They're escapism, and it's food for thought. You're like, maybe that did happen.
Yeah. At this day and age, I'm learn something new every day that I question myself. So today's headline that had me scratching my head was the J6 bomber has a My Little Pony fetish, and I'm like, what? Where did this come from?
Wow.
I'm like, got nothing there.
See, I go for the obscure headlines like that. So I was like, what the hell? So well, that, and I'm fascinated with this comet that's probably full of aliens coming to kill us, but I don't know why I'm fat. I'll read up on it every day. So, but I'm like you, a science fiction, and I grew up a comic book geek as well. So.
Yeah. And I love comic books, and I still do. Yeah. And, being a librarian, there's a lot of kids, especially boys, that didn't want to read. And I would go, here's a comic book. Here's a graphic novel. And the thing that I got, though, was the mothers would always go, well, hopefully that'll lead to other books. And I'm like, why? If they're enjoying this, let them just read this. They don't have to read War and Peace to be able to read well. So.
No, exactly. I agree. And by the way, happy Dewey Decimal Day. So,
thank you very much. Me and Dewey were like this.
Today is Dewey. Yeah, don't ask me how I know that, but I'm just full of all kinds of worthless information. So. When you were doing Pip, did you have an artist do any drawings or anything for you to kind of give you inspiration, or not inspiration?
Actually, but I used AI, and I plainly state that in the book, because when you upload it, they ask. The book was written by me, no AI. Pip itself was created by Grok. Yeah, I asked them to create this dog for me, Grok. I'm not sure how you say it, so apologize. But it created the dog for me, and then I created the cover from that.
Okay, no, that's cool. I use AI for creating. In fact, if you saw our thumbnail for the show, it had a robotic dog on it, so it was Gemini. So, but yeah, I use it for everything because I can't spell now. I discovered
first time I used it, and so I kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't, and then it turned out so cute. I thought, I got to use this dog.
Hey, he made a picture for me for our promo, and it was AI, and it turned out pretty good.
Did it? Yeah, I've seen a lot of authors. I mean, not many that use it to write their books, but a lot of them will use it for business, marketing and business planning and that type of stuff, because most everybody is either a single or a very small business, and you can't really afford to pay people to do all of these jobs, or it is difficult unless you're, James Patterson. So they use this, and it does it for them. And even if they don't use all of the suggestions and ideas, it just does give them a starting point and the ability to market, whether you're an author or an artist or a musician or even a small bricks and mortar building. It's a great idea to use it to get some ideas to market your business.
Oh, absolutely. It's a tool. That's all. Well, that's the way I look at it. It's a tool.
Yes.
And some of the authors and artists I've interviewed, they have, some have shamelessly used it. Others have been like, I don't really talk about that, but yeah, it's a tool. I mean,
yes.
Now I know, she has listened to AI audio and
it
hates
is horrible.
I have read
the series the series I'm listening to right now. It's horrible But the book's good itself, but the AI read part of it is horrible.
It's very mechanical. I've looked into doing that myself because voice artists are very expensive. And, so you have to know that you're going to recoup your cost at least break even. And and reading it yourself, I don't know that there's any person I've ever met that enjoys hearing themselves. So it's one of those where you're going, I don't think I want to do this. And I've tried that as well, and I can't say I enjoy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't like hearing myself when I'm on the show. I never try unless I do some major screw up. I don't go back and listen to my shows because I don't want to hear myself.
I don't either.
So I get enough from fan email telling me you're an idiot. So,
well, the only issue I have with it is like there's no emotion there when things need that emotion, and like when they say ass, it's not ass, it's ash.
It's very mechanical and monotone. Yes.
Yeah, and like there's other words that they say that's like, okay, that's not even the word. Why are you saying it that way?
Yeah.
And it always adds an S to Sportscat, and it's Sportcat, and that annoys me. It doesn't.
Although I have to say, we have some new anchors for our local news, and some of them are quite good. But they have, as a person who's lived in this area their whole life, it's Dayton, Ohio, and they go Dayton. And I'm going, stop it. It's just there's no U in Dayton.
Yep, Knoxville. Got it. Yeah.
It's like Louisville. Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. Yes, that's so funny, but so true.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yes. Well, in your day job, I assume you're a librarian by the way you talk.
Yes.
Okay. Do you, like you said, try and encourage children? Are you a high school, element? What are you? I guess.
Librarian. I left that job when my husband got sick to help caregive. But at this point, I currently do freelance writing as an aside. I was senior editor for a blog for about 12 years. It was a book blog. And I've probably written for well over 100 magazines. And publications. At one point, I was a stringer for a newspaper. I mean, I worked in advertising and marketing. So pretty much, I even did tech manuals. So pretty much everything I've been involved with has been words and, writing.
Wow, that's impressive.
It sounds better than it is. It's just
you get to see the world from the typewriter. So
there you go. A couple magazines, have sent me out to places though, actually. So that was kind of a perk. Yeah. One of those where I'm like, look, I'm an author going and they're sending me. I mean, even if it was to cover a basketball game, it was great. So.
Yep. I was in high school. I was a stringer for a newspaper for photography. So yeah,
that's cool. And it's fun.
Yeah. Well, until the year they sent me up in a Cessna plane and literally tied me down and turned the plane sideways with the door open so I could get the picture of the UT.
Oh my, that's scary.
That was no fun. That was no fun at all. So
I used to hollered. My daughter was a pilot. She had her pilot's license before she had her driver's license, and her best friend's a wean walker.
No. I'll climb the 100-foot ladder.
Firefighter. So yeah. I think
I'll climb the 100-foot ladder, but no, thank you. So I'll rappel, but not from a plane. So no, thank you. So there's a reason they give you parachutes.
That's right. No, that's right. Don't waste a perfectly good parachute.
And I don't ever want to have to use one. Well, since one of the things we always ask you, well, first off, let me do a couple things here. I told you earlier, we are live in Australia, so I want to make sure that you tell the Australian audience how they can find your stuff, because we want to get your stuff all around the world.
Oh, great. I'm on every Amazon UK, Amazon Australia, Amazon USA, and I'm exclusive to Amazon. So anything that you want as far as my books, book list, And then, of course, just my website, which has links to Amazon. So it's jociemckade.com. I'm mostly on Facebook, a little on Instagram. I don't do X. It's just insane.
Too complicated.
And Instagram and I have a love-hate relationship. So
he tries to get me to do Instagram when we do our Big Brother show and to go follow all this stuff, but it gives me a headache.
Yeah, there's certain ones I follow and certain things. I don't post there as much. My Facebook, I have a regular author page, and then if they want, they can ask to be in my reader page. I have a private reader group, which is much smaller, and I post much more things there than I do on the main page. And so I'm usually available. I have my email address out there if they have any questions, that type of thing. I have, as far as Australia goes, I have 2 great beta readers from Australia. Bless their hearts. These 2 ladies are amazing. There's Cherry and Karina. Hi. And because I do live in Southwest Ohio, and sometimes I feel very insulated here, and like no one else in the world is actually reading my books except people in the Midwest USA. And they beta read for me. And a couple times they've come back and said, Jocie, this is a really, really bad word in the UK. And I'm like, what? Because, it was a very simplistic word, but their meaning, my meaning in UK or British or Australian English was vastly different from my PG rating. So,
Okay.
So fortunately, they very much helped me remember that I am writing to a global audience and not just to, 5 neighbors down the road. And sometimes, being an author, you're kind of solo anyway, so you forget that.
Yeah, it is strange realizing that you have people that read or listen to you around the world. It's a really odd thing. So
it is.
I appreciate them all. So, but I still don't know why the hell they listen to me. But
Well, Jocie, now you got another Ohioan to follow you and read your books.
Oh, thank you. What part of the state are you from?
I'm in Parma.
Oh, okay. So you're up north.
Chris is reading my mind. He says, I'm trying to guess the word, Glenn.
Starts with an F, ends with a Y.
Okay.
Has an A and 2 N's in the middle. And according to these ladies, that's a very gross and ugly word in Australia and the UK.
Okay. Katie, are you listening?
Sometimes wear a pack on ours.
Oh, okay.
And I had no idea. I'm like, most of my work, I mean, your teenager and your grandmother could read it. I'm very, PG, innuendo here and there, but nothing that you would be embarrassed for anyone in your family to read. What in the world did I write that could be considered that way? Surprise. And that was just one of the first one. They've caught a couple more things and said, it's completely different meaning than what you're writing here.
Yeah, you don't come off as X-rated grandma to me, so no. I didn't have you pegged for that. So.
My books that I read would probably make her blush.
They make me blush. So. Well, I wanted, since we were backstage earlier, and I hope I'm not doing this too soon, but I wanted, you sounded like you had a lot of paranormal experiences. And so I wanted to.
Should write a book.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Yeah, I wanted to. Well, maybe you could do like a whole series, like I don't know, like maybe Appalachian Raiders of the Lost Ark type of thing or something.
There you go. That could be it. There's a lot of myths and legends down there, as I said with the Mason-Dixon series, because most of my family's from the South, and a lot of Cherokee, obviously, but Native Americans and Appalachian. Of course, there's that Irish descent, so I have a book this thick on superstitions of what I should and should not ever do. And I've managed to eliminate most of them. And then my daughter bought me a book on Feng Shui, which is, that's what I needed to add Chinese superstition to what I already carried. And, but yeah, I've had some incidents happen here and there. Probably one of the most visible ones that I could talk about was after I had my oldest daughter, we lived in an older house outside of Dayton, and it was probably built, I think, about 1920. And what I discovered was, of course, it changed hands a few times through the years. The couple that lived there before us were not able to have children, and I guess she really, wanted a family. And she had passed away. They were an elderly couple that never had children. And my daughter was probably 6 weeks old. And I got up in the middle of the night, of course, to go check on her. And I thought I saw a woman standing over her crib.
Oh,
And I was like, it obviously wasn't my husband because he doesn't wear white nightgowns. And I was like, what is that? And I looked up, she looked at me, and then she was gone. And I think she just wanted to know that there were children in her home finally. And I never saw anything again.
wow.
No noises, nothing after that. It was just that one moment.
Wow. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, yeah, she was residual energy and she just wanted to feel like there was
I think
someone-
maybe she was just happy children were finally in her home.
that's a great story. Now,
Yeah.
it didn't freak you out at the time either. You were more kind of
It didn't, other than, you're half asleep. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like, and then when I walked in the room, I'm like, oh, who's in there with my child? And I walk in and it was just an emotion like happiness. I mean, there was no fear. There was no threatening. There was just calmness. That's it. Just a
okay.
calmness there. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good story. I mean, it's like, how young was your child?
She was 6 weeks, about 6 weeks.
Oh, so she wouldn't remember. I was going to say, but aside from maybe scaring the child, that's that's good.
No, and she's probably my more sensitive, the child. The younger one's the adrenaline junkie. The older one's a little more sensitive. So,
Have you told her the story?
oh yes, I've told her. Yes.
Okay.
And she
Does
goes,
she
I
think
don't
about it?
remember it, but I would have talked to her. I'm like, I know you would have.
I don't know. Be careful what you wish for. So,
That's right. Mhm.
well, have you had any other experiences or seen Bigfoot or?
I've had a few, mostly feelings. One of those where I still instinctively, my daughters will tell you, how do you always know when I'm having a bad day? Because I'm like, hello. But I think I attribute that more to motherhood, I think, than anything else. The other thing was many years ago, we had a tornado in the area and driving down the road. And I just reached over, grabbed my husband. And I said, don't go that way. Whatever you do, don't go that way. And those type of incidents, I think a little more than paranormal, which if we'd have gone that way, a tree would probably have taken us out or at least blocked our path. I mean, we may not have gotten hurt, but we would have been, fairly well blocked.
Well, that's your gut feeling. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of moms have that.
Yeah. I
intuition.
think maybe it's a little more maternal than it is, anything paranormal, but, that's about it. And like I said, sometimes too, I kind of look for it. I mean, my hometown is the most haunted town in the state of Ohio. And every Halloween and stuff, they give tours and, haunted tours in different places that they go. And I've yet to see anything. I'm looking around. I know maybe I shouldn't wish for that, but
You got to get your ghost tools and your ghost recorder and all that stuff
Yep.
out. So,
and a lot of people I work with, people in town, small businesses, because it's a very small town. And, they talk about incidents they've seen and things that they've had happen. And I'm kind of disappointed because I've been here for 30 some years and nothing.
yeah, like I said, be careful what you wish for. But
That's true. Very true.
yeah, because we had a author on a few weeks ago. And she said she felt like her grandmother or something was watching over her because she had someone tell her that there was an elderly woman with her that's protecting you from all the things and places you go, because she researches like her books firsthand, and like she's right in the West, she goes to a certain location, or and they say you've put yourself in a lot of crazy spots, and as a woman you shouldn't, and so.
There's a lot of times. Yeah, I think my grandmother and my mom, because I lost my mom several years ago, and I honestly think I feel their presence quite often.
And that's comforting.
So it's very comforting. Yeah. I'm very jealous I used to watch that TV series, Medium, and I would see people and I would so envy her that I couldn't see someone that I was feeling. So especially, your mom, your grandmother, and you want to know that apparition, that person's still okay and they're still there. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so we'll bring this back to books. If you were to write a book like that, it would be a mystery, obviously, but how creepy paranormal would you make it?
Well, I wrote a short story and it's geared toward young adult, and it's called Second Life Charmed. And it's a short story. I think it's only about 60 pages, but the young girl that is in it basically joins a group called the Undertaker Society, and they go through crypts to get to different places on Earth. And her first job is to save the King of England. So they go through crypts globally to take care of mysteries and that type of thing. So it would probably be an expansion on that story.
Okay.
Because that was fun. Yeah.
And once again, that's like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. As long as there's Scooby snacks on there.
Chris has called us out. So.
Makes you wonder what's in those Scooby snacks, because
they were always
think of how Shaggy acted.
I don't think Shaggy was high on Scooby snacks.
Well, Scooby was high on whatever Shaggy had.
I know.
And catnip. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Well, with the futuristic world, do you think in the near future we'll have some of these things that you're envisioning, like the dogs and stuff? Or
I think I'm going to have a hard time staying ahead of the curve, to be honest with you. I mean, I know enough about computers to be extremely dangerous. And I have to do a lot of research. I mean, I've been running computers all my life, but when it gets into the intricacies, I'm not as educated on that. So in order to stay ahead of it, it's going to require a lot more research on my part. And I honestly don't think we're that, maybe 10 years out from this kind of a dog. I mean, if they push the applications for service dog as hard as they pushed it for military dogs, I think within 10 years we could see it.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be amazing, though.
I was watching a guy the other night, and he was talking about, everybody keeps saying that we should, pull the plug or pull back or come up with something to slow or stop AI. And he said, we can't, because our enemies, China and Russia, won't. They don't have that moral wall that we do, and they're going to keep trying to push the boundaries. So if we don't at least try and stay ahead, if not keep up, if not stay ahead, then we're going to be behind in a war. And when he said that, I was like, I had never thought about that, but he's absolutely right, because not everybody has good intentions. So I mean, of course, the military comes up with a way to blow up everything, but weaponize everything. So,
kind of their job.
They're pretty good at it. So.
Yeah, they are. Thank goodness they are. As I always say, for me to be happy-go-lucky writer that sits here in safety in middle America, I owe it to a United States soldier. So
yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. And that's one of the things on my daytime show. And I always kid, since we got the Australian audience, I said, we're Americans. We're pretty good at a couple things. One of them is blowing shit up. So,
yeah. So. It's like the other day I saw, I don't know if it was a shirt or just an ad, but it was, don't mess with us because we will cross a frozen river in the middle of December to kick your butt because we've done it. And I'm sorry, I thought it was kind of fun.
No, that's true. It's so true.
I'm like, I really need that shirt.
My only fear is we have a generation now that A, doesn't get that, and B, wouldn't do that. So.
Yes.
This is the 6-7 generation.
Oh, stop.
8675309 generation.
Yes.
I did that the other day to my granddaughter said something about, do you know what 67 means? And I'm like, no, but I know what 8675309 means. So she had to go look it up.
That's bad. I had to look up what 6'7" meant, and I'm like, it doesn't mean anything.
Nothing. It's just to be aggravating. Because, we as teenagers were never aggravating.
No,
we just, my generation was the great cornholio. And we needed teepee for our bunghole. So, yeah. And this generation has no clue about that. And I'm like,
no. Neither.
Really?
And unfortunately, to bring it back, it would be politically incorrect.
No, they did bring Beavis and Butthead back. Like I saw the other day, where was I? I was watching TV somewhere, and they were saying how there's new episodes of Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. I saw Howard the Duck was coming back right before he came on.
Oh,
of course,
gosh.
you know who Howard the Duck is, probably.
I know who Howard the Duck
No,
is.
Jessica Rabbit. I mean,
I don't know if they could make that one either.
That one would be so politically incorrect.
Yeah. I saw JD Vance had a meltdown over 6'7", and they were making fun of him on the internet about it because I guess I think he's got a daughter or he's got a child. I don't know what the child is, and in church the child uttered 6'7", and he's like, no.
Me and a friend was talking about this today, about how it makes no sense. And like, if you'll like at my job, I'll say, well, we need 6 or 7 of them. And then these are like 22-year-olds and they're like 6, 7. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, I thought it was younger than that, like, high school age, maybe even
yeah,
college.
but there's like adults who are over the age of 18 doing this. And I'm like,
Yes.
you know what? You're over the age of 18. You need to stop.
Well, I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah. Grab them by the ear too, Harley. And
there you
No,
go.
I only have to put up with them for a couple more weeks.
Get off my lawn, Harley. That's the way it is for me. Is give them the old man. Get off the lawn. So
At this point in time, I love my children, but I don't like other people's children too well.
Well, I always laugh. My kids, people hate them. Like, oh, they're teenagers. I love my kids as teenagers. Middle schoolers was a whole different thing.
Well,
Middle
see,
schoolers are weird.
I have 3 boys. Well, I have 3 boys and a daughter. My daughter's in college right now at Tri-C, about to graduate with her associates in speech pathology and American Sign Language. And then she's going to Cleveland State to get her master's and bachelor, whatever's next. I don't know. And she's going to finish that degree out. And then I've got 3 boys and they're all autistic. Every single one of them. And then my youngest son is autistic with oppositional defiant disorder.
Oh.
I love my boys. They could be they're a handful, but I wouldn't trade my boys for any of these little teenagers that I work with. Any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the mom in you.
Well, no, it's not that. It's like my kids were taught. See, I was raised by my grandparents. So how I was raised was different than my generation. So my children have manners instilled in them. And yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and manners.
Yes. I always laugh at the parents today doing this. Well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do the other. And here was my mother. Do you want to die today? Seriously.
I was raised.
Say that. My mother was a true Southern lady, and she could just look at you with this look. I mean, the Italian grandmothers say they give the evil eye. Oh, they have nothing on the
See, I was raised in the South. I was raised in Oklahoma. And my kid, I grew up and I was an adult there. We didn't move here till 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm true Southern through and through. So my kids know.
This world, I can take you out.
Do you know how many times I've tell my kids that?
Me
Yeah.
too. So,
And but
Oh,
it's
my mom and my grandmother was just the softest, sweetest person in the world. But when she turned around and looked at you or cleared her throat, that was it. Everybody shut up.
see, I've always been told that I'm the politest, rudest person that you could possibly meet
Well, that's quite the compliment.
because when I'm mad at you, I'm politely cussing you out, but politely doing it to where you think I'm being polite to you and complimenting you, but in reality, I'm cussing you out in the process of it.
As my husband says, I can insult somebody and they won't know it until 5 minutes later.
Exactly. And then, like, okay, because I'm from the South, my favorite thing to say is bless your heart.
Mhm.
And a lot of the northern people don't understand that's not a compliment.
Sometimes it is, but not always.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're talking to people and how you put it, it's not.
Yes. Yes.
imitation.
90% of the time, it is not.
Yeah, when I
Always
moved
leave
to
them
Atlanta,
guessing
I
hard.
still
Exactly, Chris. That is what I do.
yeah, when I moved to Atlanta, I still tried to keep my Southern gentleman up, and I opened at a QT, a gas station. I opened the door for a lady in front of me, and she stopped and she looked at me. She goes, "I'm not walking through that." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I don't need a man to open the door for me." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I walked the door.
I hate to break it to these people. I like having the door held open.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
only that, I return the favor. You know how many men have been carrying stuff out of a store and I will stop and hold the door for them just because it's the polite thing to do? I don't
Exactly.
care who you are, male, female, old, young. If you look like you need that door held open, I'm going to hold the door open.
In my office that I work at, I will get up out of my desk and go open that door for those elderly people who's struggling to get in that door.
Yes, I do too.
Because that's how I was raised. You gotta have manners, and
Yeah.
my kids are raised the same exact way. My
Yeah.
boys know, you see a lady, you open that door for her. That's how
Most of that, I love to work on cars. Seriously, I don't rebuild engines and this type of stuff, but peripherally, you know, as my husband says, I came with a dowry of a toolbox. And many years ago, before I met my husband, there was a gentleman whose car would not start in the parking lot where I was. So I walked over and I said, "Hey, I have jumper cables. Can I jump start your car for you?" And he goes, "Why don't you act like a girl?" I went, "Okay, you're on your own." So, you know, that kind of the reverse of holding the door open, but that's the only time that kind of incident has happened to me. But I think sometimes me offering to jumpstart a car or any woman kind of takes men aback sometime because it's not common. So.
No, especially in the north. So they don't have the skills up there sometimes to cope. So,
and it's not something most women do or want to do. I mean, I love cars and, you know, yeah, but I love classic cars. So
yeah. Oh, well, me too. But if mom called and said she needed, I'd be like, I'm on the way. So, well, not when I'm in Atlanta, but, so Jocie, before we let you get out of here,
yes.
What is the next book about, or can you tell us any little sneak peek?
It's a continuation of where this one left off. This one, I don't want to spoil it, but at the end of it, Pip is in trouble and he's gone dark. And so Hope and her kind of rekindled romance and her renter who doesn't pay rent go to help rescue him. And in that rescue is when they discover another dead body. And I'll give you one little teaser here. The dead body is her father's ex-partner.
Ooh, yeah. Well, you already had me with the dog, the robotic dog.
The dog, it's like the actors tell you, never appear with a child or a dog because they'll always upstage you.
The dog will upstage you. Absolutely, I can see that. So
yeah,
no, you had me with that and with the storyline, and then no, I think you actually, by telling us towards the end of this book, I think that kind of give us a good hook to bring us in for more. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Is unlike Harley, I have to Kindle. So
I got Kindle too. but it's on Kindle.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
it's on Kindle.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'll have to check it out. So just to reiterate, anybody wants to find you, I will place your website. I think I already got it in the show notes, but if not, by tomorrow afternoon, it will be. And they can go to Amazon and find you.
Yes.
And do you like to hear from readers, fans, or some people?
Oh,
do
I love
something?
to hear from them. Yeah. Honestly, I have a file of pretty much every fan letter I've ever received. Because you're thrilled that you can actually make somebody happy for a few minutes. I had one gentleman write me. It was actually a story I did about the honor flight, because I had done a story about the Higgins boats of World War II and a couple of other things for a magazine. And I had an 89-year-old World War II vet, I will tear up if I say this, write me a little letter through the magazine and said he asked his local VFW group to put the magazine on Care Flight with my article in it so they could read it. And I don't think very few things have ever honored me as much as that.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
that is an honor. No.
Yeah.
And the honor flights are a great thing. So wow.
Yes.
That's cool. So
Yeah,
see, you're
and that was
multi-talented. You're not just Scooby-Doo
awesome.
writer. So,
I'm sorry.
you're multi-talented. You're just not a Scooby-Doo writer. You can start a car. You can
In other words, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Me either. Me either. Jocie, when you get the next book finished, come back and holler at us.
Oh, great. I appreciate that. Thank you. I will.
I would love to hear the stories, and hopefully by then Harley or probably Harley will have know all about Pip. I probably am the slow learner here. I'm still on like page 3 of a book.
I already have it downloaded on my Kindle.
Thank you. That's awesome.
She'll be done by tomorrow.
Well, I just hope that she likes it. She gets to escape for a little while.
I hope she does too. Jocie, I hope that the fans in Australia reach out to you.
Also.
And hope the fans reach out to you and get in touch with you. And like I said, come back with your next one. We'll be glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
go
appreciate
get her books, guys.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, Jocie. We'll talk to you soon.
You as well. Stay warm out there.
Yeah, I'm going to try. Bye-bye. That was great. That was great, Harley. Yeah, you'll be through the book way before me.
I'll be done with it tomorrow.
Probably. All right.
It started on another one of her books.
Let me hit a button here real quick, and we will be right back with our next guest.
Buckle up for another wild ride. Bold takes, sharp commentary, no filters. It's Sportcat's Daily Gazette, overnights, only on Radio X Country.
And welcome back. This is hour 2 of the Sportcat Show. And as you know, Harley and I always have 2 guests. And today is no exception. We just had Jocie, but now we're going to switch gears a little bit. And, well, we're going to talk about dragons and computers and some fantasy monsters. So, James
another book for me.
Well, you've got another series here. Let me bring James out, and he can tell us.
I like fantasy, and it's James. I've read a few of his books. You are muted.
Yeah, James, you're muted.
There we go. So
I've read a few James books already.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And did you like them?
Last time he was on the show, I went and read them.
That's right.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually passed it on to my friend, and she read a few of them.
Oh, nice. I like that. That I like. I really like people to pass the book on after they read them. Give them to somebody you like if you like the book. Give it to somebody you hate if you didn't like the book.
I remember last time you were here, some of the best advice I tried to give to the wife. We were talking about buying beach houses, and you said Virginia Beach. So I told my wife that, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, he's right. I've looked." Still hasn't fallen for it, so I keep working it. So.
Keep working. We have some nice places out here in Virginia Beach.
Well, we're originally from Virginia, so I thought between the hook of that and the beach, but so the grandkids are stuck in Atlanta, so I am probably too. So,
well, I got some children and grandchildren down around Atlanta, so yeah.
Well, if you're down this way, come visit. So how the heck have you been? It's been a minute since we had you.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. I've been okay. I've been working, sort of, kind of.
Well, you're not working if you're enjoying it, and if I remember, you enjoy it. So
I certainly do. I have a good time. Usually, I'm only really very happy when I'm writing. The rest of the time, I'm just thinking about I should be writing, and and thinking about what should I be writing.
Well, you've got several series out now, don't you?
Yeah, I got 2 series. The Killer series is probably the one that Hurley been reading. Yeah, and then the Gemstone series.
I started the Gemstone series.
Okay, so you.
And I read the Mafia one too.
Yeah, that's the Killer series, the one about
the Mafia one is the one that my friend read too, and she liked that also. And I had started the Gemstone series.
Okay, so yeah, and I'm still working in the Gemstone series. I'm working on book 3. I'm about halfway through that. Since the last time I seen you, book number 2 has been out. That came out sometime in June, I think. Yeah, I think in June. There we go. Ooh, as we move across the screen.
The Ruby
July.
Cradle.
So it's called the Ruby Cradle. We actually have a dragon on the cover this time, along with a very beautiful woman. We love beautiful women.
I'm with you there. So you like to write about the fantasy, and then you also add in a little real life stuff with like the Roman and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a historical fantasy, so there's some real life stuff in there. I would say I was a B+ student in history. Not really good with the dates, but I remember the stories, and I like to, throw my own stuff in there when I had to. So if I didn't remember a fact or something like that, I made stuff up. What the heck?
That's what is it, author's prerogative. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the Ruby Cradle takes us back to 1066, to the turn of the century, the fall of the Roman Empire. And we all know what happened in 1066. Well, for those who don't, it was the Battle of Hastings, when the English lost England to the Normans. And I'm watching Robin Hood now on MGM, a series, which is about the time after the Battle of Hastings, which I didn't know Robin Hood actually took place in that time period. They were in 1100 something, and it's the Normans against the Saxons, and like I said, I kind of knew they were Saxons, but I didn't know that it was somewhat the Normans, how they kicked everybody off their land, and that's what the whole idea behind the Robin Hood story was. I just remember Robin Hood, was sort of a noble guy, and he lost his land and all that kind of stuff, and then he started going against the other people. But in my book, we're right in that time period. So, because in Tell, the Emerald Lady, they released the dragons. So in the Ruby Cradle, Zabella got to go to Rahima, her grandmother, to find out how they captured the dragons in the first place. So that's why it's called the Ruby Cradle, and that's what the main gist of that story is about. We kind of time travel back in time in a very special way. I won't give it away. You have to read the book to find out. And she goes back to find out the history of the dragons, and the whole war between the mermaids and the dragons.
Yes, I remember you talking about that in the past. So they didn't like each other. So Wasn't that right? They didn't like each other.
What's that?
I was saying, didn't the mermaids and I want to say the dragons or the grandparents? Somebody didn't like the mermaids.
Well, they didn't like Rahima so much. She had a thing against men, and so that was in the Emerald Lady. She was at war with mankind, and so she kind of like caused a split in the mermaid realm, and so the mermaids were kind of fighting each other, and so during that fight, or because of that fight, they wind up releasing the dragons back into the world, and then you find out, okay, no one really likes the dragons. In this case, the dragons are bad guys, and I happen to like dragons, but somebody has to be the heavy. So the dragons are the ones who's carrying the weight, and that's how that's going. So between men, dragons, and mermaids, all three of these beings are at war with each other, so to speak.
Okay. So when you traveled back, or when she traveled back there, did you feel it was more important for her to hear it from her grandmother rather than to like read it from an archaic script? Did it give the reader part of the crux?
No, there's a little difference. I guess we're gonna have to let the cat out the bag here, since it's Sportcat. She actually lives her great grandmother's life.
Okay.
So she experiences everything that happened to her great grandmother in this case, because as you know, mermaids live 1,000 years, so they have very long lives, and she goes back to live her grandma's life. Rahima takes her back in time to live her grandmother.
Oh wow! Where do you come up with this? You've got such a great imagination.
Lack of sleep.
Sleep deprivation.
Lack of sleep and beer.
Well, that will do it.
Yeah.
Now, do you? So, have you finished the other series, the Killer series, up? Or
yes, the Killer series is all done and put to bed. We have 4 books. The last book was Killer with Ice Eyes, which I was going to say I have that over here, but no, it's on the other side of the room. So that was the last book. That was Maria's story. So she ends up being the last character in the story. So we learn how Mojo's daughter ends up. So you got 1 and 3, 2 and 4. So you read 1, you can read 3. If you read 2, you can read 4. If you read 1, you can also read 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah.
So how many are going to be in this series?
3.
Okay.
3. It should be 3 because we started in the golden age of piracy with the American Revolution. We go back to the age of castles when they was building castles, which is the turn of the millennia, 1000 AD. Around that time, it was kingdom, because by that time, the empires had fallen, the Roman Empire, the Greeks. So all the empires had kind of fallen, and now we have kingdoms coming up in Europe and Asia and places. And then we're going to go back to modern times, and in modern times, we have nation building. So kingdoms are gone, fallen, and then we have the nation. So we're right now in the age of nations. We don't have too many kingdoms now. Now we have a lot more politically ran governments.
Trouble taking people's money.
Well, there's always trouble. No matter who's running things, there's always trouble.
That's true. That's true. Royalty, presidents, it's all the same.
Yeah. Emperors, whatever.
Yeah, emperors, yeah. Dictators.
Yep.
So what's next? Do you got any other lines in mind, or?
Since you asked,
we
have the Moth and Other Tantalizing Tales, which is a collection of short stories. This one just came out Black Friday.
Oh, wow. So that was brand new. Okay.
Yeah, brand new. collection of 8 short stories. They go back in time from my time, this time, not, historical time. But I covered a bunch of stories that I've written since about, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, up into some modern stuff. So
It is downloaded on my Kindle.
she is quick.
She is. She probably haven't read it before the show's over.
Before I mentioned it.
I'm surprised she didn't correct me. Well, he has a new one. Well, that's great.
So that's my newest thing. But then I'm going to go back and finish the Gemstone Series. I'm going to write the Diamond Warrior, which I'm halfway through that, and I have a horror novel coming out.
Goodness.
Called the House of Sun and Shadow, which I'm about halfway through that one. I always get halfway through things, and then I switch gears for some reason. I don't know. Well, a lot of it's because I did NaNoWrite mode, and in that 1 month you can kind of like lay out the bones and the story, and you get the stuff down, and then you walk away. You come back later. You say, okay, where was I? And what do I need to do here? So
you're really genre hopping there with them.
Oh yeah, I like the genre hop. I have ideas in all different types of stuff. The horror story, I kind of like always wanted to write a horror story, but didn't really have a horror story to tell, which makes it kind of hard. Now I had short stories. There's one in the Morph that's a short story. In fact, there might be 2 in the Morph. Anyway, but I didn't have any long story. I didn't have a full novel. I didn't have an idea that I could carry through and characters and all that kind of stuff. So somehow or another, I got struck by lightning or something. I was asked to write a horror story for a children's charity. And when I wrote that story, it hit me that, hey, I know what I can do now. I know we'll make a fine novel. And so I started working on the House of Sun and Shadow, because I was supposed to be working on the other Gemstone story. And,
You're not married, are you?
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, yeah, you don't have anybody to keep you in line there.
No. I'm left to my own devices, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah, we can't be left alone.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I have Harley to keep me in line. So, well, with the historical part, I was wondering, since you lived near Virginia Beach, you ever thought about doing something naval pirate, something like that, or?
Well, that's what the Emerald Lady was about. It's mostly told about places around Chesapeake Bay and the Revolutionary War. So they sail up and down here, from here to the Caribbean and back, kind of, is where they pretty much find themselves fighting this war and stuff. So, yeah. And I used to work out at the Navy base at the shipyard that was at one time owned by the British. And then we own it. And, so I spend a lot of time in the horse trailer there, fighting off the rats.
I remember a story I'm not sure who told it to me, but there was a story about, and I want to say it was somewhere down in South Georgia during the Revolutionary War, that there was a section that the soldiers would come back and forth, and they would cross this area that was at different parts of the tide. It was high tide, you could cross it. It was low tide, or I'm sorry, if it was low tide, you could cross it. It was high tide, depending on the weather, you might be able to. And they had soldiers who reported during high tides seeing mermaids there, and their officers were like, "You're nuts." Even back then, they were like, "You're nuts." No,
maybe to talk about what's the name of that place, the Okefenokee Swamp.
Yeah,
There's
I think
a swamp down there in Georgia, South Georgia. That's where my father's from. My father's family is from that part of Georgia. Way down in the south, just right there around the Florida-Georgia border. There's a swamp there. So maybe that's what you talk about, because like we have the Great Dismal Swamp here, and George Washington actually had part of it drained so that they could, cross it, and they built a little area that goes through the Dismal Swamp now. That was in George Washington's time. They wanted to drain it, so I guess it had something to do with the war. Who knows? Maybe it was after the war. But anyway, so we have that swamp, and you can cross it at times.
I think stories like that, whether they're true or not, I think they make for great folklore. And if you're a kid growing up in that area, you're terrified of it.
Yeah, when I moved down here and I seen the Great Dismal Swamp, I was like, oh man, that ought to be something. And then I was in it one time and I was like, okay, I don't really see the greatness of this place. Maybe someone, is trying to sell it more than what it is. But it is a swamp, and it's like, okay. And then it was on fire for like years.
What?
Yeah, because underneath the ground, they have peat moss and this stuff. And at one point, something happened, lightning strike or something. So it was burning underground, and it was putting this horrible smell out into the air. And after a while, people were like, what is that smell? And they were like, oh, that's the Great Dismal Swamp. It's on fire. And it was like underneath the ground. So it was just smoke coming up out of it. And then we had a hurricane and put it out. So a couple of years, let's go. Because they were like, well, we can't really do anything about it. We tried to put it out. We can't reach it. It's just burning underneath the ground because, peat moss or whatever that stuff is called is flammable. It is like tar.
Yeah.
So that stuff is flammable. So they couldn't really do anything about it. They said, well, it'll burn out in time. And it was going for a couple of years. And then finally we got hit with a hurricane, and that was enough water to put it out.
Yeah. Nature always takes care of itself. So
yeah.
There you go. So I think I asked you this before, but I don't remember your answer. Do you believe in mermaids and dragons and stuff like that? Or do you think this was just old sailor's tales?
As Ernie Hudson said, if there's a paycheck in it, I'll believe in anything you want. I believe that dragons came about because people found bones of dinosaurs, and they probably imagined, well, what else could it be? This giant beast that they found the bones of, and what else could it be? And of course, what was the best weapon that you can have? Fire. Everybody knows fire is great.
Yep.
And as for mermaids, that could be mermaids. We would never know. I mean, they would die in the ocean. Their bones would sink to the bottom, and you wouldn't.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
So,
interesting enough, Tim Burchett, the congressman here from East Tennessee, he was talking recently about there's underground bases where there's alien life.
Oh, yeah. They always talk about that.
I was like, wait a minute. Maybe they're mermaids and mermen.
Uh-huh.
Well, if they're alien, I mean, who knows?
Yep. They say octopus is supposed to be alien. There's no real tie to anything else on, that the octopus are tied to. Maybe squid, but they're not really quite the same. So.
And Lord knows there's some great sea stories from those. So.
Oh, yeah. They said there's an alien base on the dark side of the moon. And that's why we haven't gone back to the moon, because we were told to keep our hands off.
Well, I've often wondered about that, because we went up there in the 60s in like a tin can and with a calculator. And now with the most technological stuff you could imagine, we can't get back there.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, back then it was, we were trying to beat the Russians, and the best way to beat them was to say, hey, we can go to the moon. And it's like, so we beat them to the moon, and then it was like, well, then it became very expensive. So we started putting out, satellites everywhere. It's a lot cheaper and easier to send a machine somewhere, take pictures than to send somebody up there to take pictures and hit golf balls. You know, if you crash the satellite, no one really cares. I mean, a few $1 million, yeah, but no one really cares. But when you lose a person, people kind of frown on that. Yeah, you're right. I guess we did kind of go, hold my beer. We got this. We're America. Yeah, we got to bring them back. It's like, hey, if we lose you out there, no one really believes in Buck Rogers. You get lost out in space, and it'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I don't know. Elon Musk may be one of those aliens.
He might be. Elon Musk probably wouldn't care if we lost a few people either.
No, he's a gazillionaire. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'll pay the insurance. Don't worry about it. Send the next guy up.
Yeah, I'll write this off. So
yeah, send the next guy. It's okay.
Next. Yeah, I was reading a story the other day, and they were talking about a magician back in medieval times came before a king. And he said that he could put a head back on and attach it and reanimate and heal it to where they were alive. And of course, well, the king was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. And so the first thing he did was he summoned a prisoner. I was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, what did I do? So no word if he was successful or not. But
well, I bet you he wasn't. And I wonder if they went on the block next because, well, you said you could do this.
Yep. Well, you might want to hold on to your own head there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they sent the prison and didn't volunteer to something like that, or the king's daughter or something.
His wife.
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah.
It'll be fine, honey. Lay down. It'll be fine. This guy got all kinds of
It's only going to hurt a little.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Look at the robes the guy's wearing. He looks legit.
Exactly. Look at those fancy garments. It's funny. Well, unlike you, I can't genre hop when I read, though. And I can't do it. If I'm reading like a book about Dracula, I got to stay in that for a little while before I go back to something else. And I haven't mastered being able to hop around to more than one thing.
Do you know how much hopping around of book genres I do?
Well, you own a library, for God's sakes.
I bet she's all over the place any given day.
Oh, she is. Yeah, I don't know if I can. But I do know there's a time when I'm like, okay, I got to get out of this one, and I'll switch to something else. So
I just finished book 12 of the book series for the Dirty Biker Club.
Oh.
And I'm going to go and start James's book tomorrow.
Is there any dirty bikers in your book, James?
I can't carry a story for 12 books. I'm sorry.
No, there's 13 in the series.
Oh, that's even worse.
Exactly.
4 is about probably my top limit. After
and
4,
it's funny, the author's name is my actual real name. So her name is my name. That's what drawn me to the book to begin with.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, oh, it's free on Audible. So here we go.
I would have thought it would have been the Dirty Bikers, Harley. So
no, that's a little too tame for my. It's a little too tame for my normal reading.
So they're not really dirty. They're just kind of muddy.
She's
a little muddy.
She's a naughty girl. So, James, have you ever done any Audible books?
Not yet. I'm about to start this in 2026. I know a guy from Nashville, Killer Nashville. I talked to him. He got a audio company now, so we've been talking about it. I just haven't decided which book to put out there yet.
The Mafia one.
The Mafia one?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'll put it out there for you.
Dedicate it to Harley. So, yeah. Well, is it hard to find a voice actor to do it?
Yeah. Now, you know what? Amazon had a beta program.
Don't do it.
I did it.
Don't do it. Oh my God, don't do it.
I did it for the Emerald Lady because I was bringing out the Ruby Cradle. So I said, well, you know what? Let me see what Amazon did with the beta. And it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound human. Almost human. It sounds almost human. It doesn't sound robotic. You know, it doesn't have that.
Except for certain words that they can't pronounce,
Yeah,
that it's bad, and then it doesn't have the emotion that's needed.
that's what you don't have. That's the part that does not sound human. But as for the words, I was very meticulous in typing and trying to get the phonetic spelling in there so that I would pronounce the
It
word.
can't say ass right, okay?
Oh, I know people can't say "I" right.
No, it says ash instead of ass.
Depending on
You
what
have to
part of
put
the
a
world
couple
you're
extra S's in there, so it's like ash. Yeah, I had typed in some stuff, and it was like it looked nothing like what the word should have been, but it sounded correct.
That had to be a lot of rewriting.
Yeah, well, you just type it in, you know, they give you a thing to correct the pronunciations, and some of the names, of course, it couldn't do right. So it was like, yeah, that's not how you say that. And
Yeah,
then it
well,
was something I would mispronounce because I made the names up, and I forget how I actually wanted it to sound.
that was the beer.
Uh-huh. So I was like, oh, wait a second, that's not how that should sound. How did I say that?
You're gonna have to use Harley as your Wikipedia for this.
But I have a company now, and I'm going to go with him, and we're going to find some. See, finding the voice actor is the hard part, but you have to find somebody who actually sounds like you hear it in your head. And you know, I can't read my own writing, so I'm not going to hardly try. I'm a terrible reader. I can't sit there and read and stuff. So I have a good voice for radio. They told me I did radio for a while.
Yeah,
So
you
I have
do,
a good
actually.
voice for radio, but I have a horrible reading voice. So
Yeah, and also I would imagine you would have to kind of be into the genre. I mean, you know, it kind of have to interest you at least, besides for the paycheck.
yeah, but some people, you know, they're voice actors. They do it for a living. You know, so they know how to do the inflections and everything, and they get familiar with the idea. And you have to work with them to tell them, well, you know, this is the type of mood that I want to set, so to speak. And you know,
okay. So you actually do have to go back and forth with them a little bit about more than just read the damn book. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't want someone just to read the book to you. You want somebody to sort of enact the book for you. Okay. You know,
have that emotion to it, and like when scenes need that emotion, they have to put that emphasis on it.
Yeah, they have to emote.
Yeah. See, Harley and I differentiate on this. I can read a book, but listening to a book puts me to sleep, whereas reading a book puts her to sleep. And so I can't. I think the only Audible book I got is by George Wendt, How to Drink Beer, or no, Drinking with Norm.
My Audible library is twice the size of my Kindle library.
See, I can't listen to books either. Now, when I was married, my wife used to like to have the audio books on while she was driving. And then when I was driving, I was like, "Oh, we got to turn that off." I can listen to it when someone else is driving because I get into the story. And if I'm driving and I get into the story, I'm not paying attention to the road. So when I'm driving, it's the radio, rock and roll. If she's driving, it was the audio book. And then I would tell her, no, you got to keep driving at least until the end of this part because I want to hear what's happening to this part. And I try to do it when I'm traveling sometimes, you know, but it's kind of funny. I have to be in a situation where I'm not but I'm not the driver, and I got enough time to listen to the whole thing, or listen to a good part of it. I don't want to hear like an hour or something, and then that's it. And I don't have time to go back to it or something like that. Now, as for reading, I can read a chapter or so and put the book down and come back a month later. And pick it back up and go back and read some
But see,
more.
I can't do that. If I start a book, I have to go finish it. I can't just, because if I put the book down with my ADHD, I won't remember what happened, and then I have to start the whole book all over, and then I'm done, and then I don't want to read it anymore.
Oh, I have started a couple of books and put them down and come back a month or two later and went back and finished it.
Like, I have a whole library over there of all my paperback books and hard books that have been sent to me by authors and that I've purchased. I haven't, they're all in the plastic.
Well, see, I got books over there that I have actually started. One book that I have to actually finish because I told the guy I would read his book, and this has been since August or June.
But see, when they send it to me, when they send it to me, I'll download the Audible form of it so that I can review the book for them. But most of them are still in the plastic because I don't do well with actual reading the book.
Yeah. See, I got to find time to read too. And being a publisher, a lot of time I'm working on other people's books. And then, of course, I'm trying to work on my own book. And,
Hey, I get that. I've got 3 boys upstairs. There's very little free time for me.
Yeah, I forgot. You are a publisher. I'd forgotten that. Yeah.
So, so I have to work on the people that I told them I would work on their book. And some people send me stuff that I, say, yeah, send me it. And then, I have to actually read it and get back to them.
How many authors do you have?
I think we have 8 or 9 now.
Oh, wow.
That's like that. Good. Yeah.
Pretty good. All different genres, or?
Yep. I got fantasy, romance, sci-fi, cyberpunk, historical, all kinds of stuff.
What's
Anything
your favorite
that I like, I'll publish.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite to read?
Used to be sci-fi. Well, actually, that was my favorite to write. I guess it's still my favorite to read too. I like crime stories too. In between murder. I love a good murder.
Yeah, Harley's smiling. I don't know where her husband is, but he's in the basement. So,
I'm in the basement, so
okay.
My ex-husband
He's under the basement.
I don't know where.
She's looking in another room. You still in there, Gimp? Well, that's cool. But yeah, I would if I was going to read somebody else's stuff, as far as giving them constructive criticism back and forth as a publisher, I would definitely have to be into it. I don't think I could read a genre out of, something I didn't like. So that to me would be even harder. So,
Oh, I do. I'm not really a romance reader, but I read romance. You tell me you have a good story, I'll read it. Hopefully it's a good story. Some people say they have good stories and they're not really good stories. And some people have great stories and it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I've read some bad romance novels.
Yeah.
There you go. You have Harley proofread them for you. Well, I'm still working on my book. I've made it to the end of chapter 1. So,
hey, what I've read of your book is not
That's
bad.
a milestone. Do not knock that. That's a milestone.
Now
you only have 12, 15 more chapters to go.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So through the end of her presidential term, and I'm damned if I know where they're going from there. So, and it's sci-fi. So, but yeah, and it's hard to read. What's that?
They're going to space.
They're going to space?
No, I don't think so. No. I think they're going to control the weather in this one.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be timely, and I'm interested in it. So yeah, probably. So
Yeah, in the Morph, I have a story called The Rainmaker, in which a sci-fi controlling the weather type of thing. A lot of government intrigue in some of my stories. So,
well, this was going to be the snow because I have a fascination with snow. And in the middle of it, there was going to be this redneck group that goes looking for Confederate gold in the worst possible place. So, and it's just a little side story. It has nothing to do with the real story. It's just one of those things I want to get out. It's like, how the hell did you end up here? So,
you have to have a good side track. In The Rainmaker, the snow was the main thing, but the sidetrack is the main story. So,
yeah. This is definitely a side trip because they're just criminals. They're dumb criminals, and they're going to end up in the absolute worst, horrible possible place in a government facility.
Well, they decide that they built a jail where the gold was buried.
Exactly. Well, you found it. Guess what? You're not leaving.
Yeah, you're not leaving.
Yeah, this is Uncle Sam's. It's not the Confederate. Nope, this is the Uncle Sam's. So I don't know if that's it yet or not, but yeah. So yeah, I'm taking a little side trip on that one, but it is hard to. It's hard to sit down for me to find the concentration to write. Is there some trick that you can do to get in the zone to write, or is it one of those things where you just sit down and you do it an hour a day?
No, I kind of like do it when I have the mood hit me and the thought just keep going, and then I'll put on like the radio or something, so I have something in the background. Now I write in complete silence sometimes. I used to have a TV over here, and I would write, late at night and have like the half-hour anime cartoons rolling. And then I got interested in anime, so that was bad.
Oh my.
And so I had to stop doing that. But, I would have the music playing sometime. And now it's like, okay, nothing. Complete silence, and just sit there and go. When I have an idea, and I say, okay, I'll sit there for a few minutes. Don't even think about writing anything. And then it's like, all right, now go. You cleared your mind, let the ideas go through, and there you go. And then I just type in pure silence.
Wow. I say I couldn't do that with the silence either. Now, do you have do you know where the story is beginning and ending, and then kind of let your characters guide you through, or do you know the whole thing straight through?
I kind of know the whole thing straight through because I am a plotter. So first off, I always know the ending. I usually don't start from the beginning. I usually start from the end. I know where I want to end up at with the story. I know my main character and where he's going to wind up. And then I'll have to figure out a beginning on, well, what put him on that path? How did he wind up going that way? And then I'll, work out the major details in the middle. And then once that starts going, and once I got all that planned out, then I start writing, and whatever falls in, things that come in out of left field, and, who knows, I'm staring into the sun, and and just before I go blind, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
I take it you don't have an outline.
I do. I have everything outlined. I have chapters outlined. I have character outlined. I do all of that before I start writing. Bless you.
Thank you.
All of that before I start writing. Usually it takes me a good year or two to plan a book, unless I was doing nano-write mode. When I did nano-write mode, I just came up with an idea, an ending, and a title, and that was it. It was like, go for it. Then I would make my outline and everything, and then I would just go for it and try to get to the 50,000 words, and that was fun. They don't have nano-write mode no more.
No, I haven't heard that in a long time.
They had problems, and all of a sudden then they just canceled it altogether. So that was bad. I like nano-write mode because there's not a lot happening in November. My Giants are usually losing or have lost so many games by November that football is no longer fun.
Commanders, yeah. I'm with you. So yeah,
So,
our season was over week 2. So
yeah, we won 3 whole weeks. 3 straight losses, 3 whole weeks, and then it was like, okay, that's it for you guys. And then we got Jackson Dart,
yes,
and
he's amazing.
Scatterboo and everything, and we won 2 more games, 3 more games, and we were like, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah, they put the rookie. First of all, I didn't think they should have put the rookie out there. I said, oh, what do I know? He's great and everything. And then, of course, Scatterboo broke his leg or did whatever, took his knee, and was in
Hey, I live in Ohio. Our college team is the team we root for because our professional team is never going to go anywhere. They suck big time.
Yeah, you got a great quarterback now with Sanders.
They still suck.
The quarterback for the Giants, though, he's built like a linebacker and plays like one.
Yes. And that poor guy gonna learn to slide.
Yes.
Or actually get out of bounds, because you're still in bounds. They are going to hit you out of bounds.
Yep.
He's running down the sideline like, 1 more yard is not going to do it for you. Get out.
Yep, I love watching him. Well, I love watching Jaden Daniels too, but no, stay in the pocket. You're too skinny. It frustrates me sometimes, but we're probably boring Harley with the sports talk. But
no, it's fine.
I love every now and then. The 2 things I do is I like to do shows and watch football. When football's off, I'm lost. So
yeah, so it's like I'm kind of glad. Well, I'm not glad the Giants aren't doing well, but it means I don't have the part-time job of watching football, because it doesn't matter what any of the other teams do. The Giants are last place and will be in last place.
Man,
So,
no, the Browns are.
I don't know. We can get the first pick if we don't win another game. But last year we had a shot at the first pick, and what did we do? We won another damn game and dropped down to 5 or something like that.
Yep.
It was like, come on, can't y'all even lose correctly? Come on.
Of course not.
I did hear good rumor about the Giants. Well, it wasn't good if you're a Commanders fan. Supposedly Tomlin is being courted by the Giants, and I was like, no, stay in Pittsburgh. No.
That might be good. I wanted the Chin to come over. What's his name?
Are you talking about the guy from New England?
No, the guy who was there before Tomlin.
Oh yeah, I can see his face. Yeah. He does color now on CBS. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted him to be our head coach. When he
would have been a good one. Yeah. There's something about Giants football that is a lot like Pittsburgh football. It's in that smash mouth in your face. So yeah, absolutely. So that's why I said, I was like, no, please not Tomlin. No. So not as a Commanders fan. So
it was horrible. They fired both our coaches, and I was like, they should have fired them a long time ago.
As long as it's not the Cowboys. That's you've got to probably be like, as long as it's not the Eagles. So
well,
go Cowboys.
We hate the Cowboys more than we hate the Eagles or the Redskins. Well, the Commanders now.
Yeah,
got to be politically correct.
We
never called them the Redskins. We called them the Deadskins all the time.
Yes.
They changed Ohio's baseball to the Guardians, and
it just doesn't sound right.
And I didn't know who the heck they were. I was like, the Guardians.
They were the Indians. Now we're the Guardians, and I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't even sound like a baseball team. It's like,
no, it doesn't.
What?
And they got rid of Chief Wahoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Well, I kind of see where people are. We treated them very bad, and I'm part Native American, I can trace my roots back to the Shinnecock's in Long Island. So somewhere around the 8th or 16th now, because like my great grandmother was full blood Shinnecock Indian. So, but I can understand that, you take our name, you take our symbols, you do all the kind of stuff, and you treat us like crap.
And they make millions.
It's not really an honor.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
The high school I went to in Oklahoma, they had to change their name too. It was Capitol Hill Redskins. And then like they had the big like Native American head in the center of the basketball court in our field house, and they tore the whole field house down and rebuilt it. And I'm like, oh, more taxes.
Uh-huh.
Now you're old enough to understand it.
Yeah, but Redskins was not a nice name to call somebody.
Oh, I know it's not.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I can't see them changing the name of the Indians.
They just changed it to the Red Wolves.
No, that doesn't fit either.
That's what they changed that to, was the Red Wolves, and I'm like,
no, that doesn't fit. No.
Yeah, I don't know about that. First off, I never seen a red wolf, so.
No, I saw a red fox, but that's a
like my alma mater is now the Red Wolves.
Exactly. James, before we let you get out of here, I don't know if you remember or if we were last time. We're live on Dare Talk Radio in Australia, in Radio X Country in Australia. We have quite the following there. So if people were interested, which we hope they are, where can they find your stuff in Australia?
Amazon.
Okay.
As much as I hate Amazon.
He's on Kindle also.
Yeah, I'm on Kindle.
And his first book and then this series he's working on is on Audible.
Yeah, so they can download an Audible book. They can find me on Kindle. I don't know if they had Barnes and Noble down there. But they can also contact me through Rock Hill Publishing and buy the book directly from the publishing company. I'll send it to Australia.
So if I buy your books, will you sign them and send them to me?
Yes.
Okay. I have to get your.
Go on the Rock Hill Publishing, and in the comments say "sign copy, please," and I will sign the copy.
Awesome. All right. So have you got a paranormal story for us as well?
Yeah. When my aunt was passing away, I went to go see her. And last time I seen her, she was there with her ex-husband. And she was having a bit of a have at 'em type of thing. And I was like, now my aunt was always very strong person, and she was dying of cancer, but she was a very strong person and everything. So I was there with her and everything. And that was my mother's sister. And so she was having it out with her ex-husband and everything. And I was like, Aunt Noni, you think this is the type of thing to say? You're close to God now and getting closer every day. And she was like, well, if not now, when? And I was like, okay, true. And I was going to leave. And I said, well, I'll just go, And she said, no, you can hear this. You're old enough. And I was, in my 20s or so. And so she had it out with him and everything. And then he left because, after all, he had been put in place. And so I was sitting there and everything. And I was like, I was telling her, all right, I'll come back. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. And she was like, no, that's okay. No need to. I'm like, no, I'll come back tomorrow. It's no problem. I want to spend as much time with you as I can. So I'll be back tomorrow. And then the next day, I'm sitting at work because I'm planning to go up there after work and everything. And just before the phone rings, I felt this shudder, made me shudder. And I felt, a presence go through me. And then the phone rings, and I pick it up and I say, I know, Ma. It was my mother calling me. But I just said, I know, Ma. I know. And she said, yeah, we're here now. She just passed.
Wow.
I said, I know. She came this way. And that was my most memorable paranormal experience. The other stuff came from, doing too much of other stuff. But that one, clear-headed,
Yeah, well, and that's not a creepy type either. That's kind of one that makes you feel comfortable. Or, well, I don't know if comfortable is the right word. It's comfort, maybe not comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it makes you think that maybe there is something more to this life than just what we see and what we know, and maybe we should behave ourselves. I always try to do good. As Led Zeppelin says, I never try to do no harm.
Yep.
I never try to do no wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's the way. I'm trying to do the old Norse way, live the old way a man should be. So yeah.
Well, me too, but you have to die in battle to get into heaven. And that's, you go to Valhalla,
Yeah, I kind of got taken out of the fight there at the fire department. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened with me. So
I try to, but that part of it is like, okay, I have to die in battle.
Yeah. Well,
at one time that wasn't too hard to do, but now it's like, the battle's going to be very quick and probably painful for me. So I think I'll avoid that.
We're older.
When there was a time when I could have probably won some of the battle, at least I would have been okay with it. But now it's just going to take a beating, and who wants that?
Exactly. It's going to hurt so much more, and I'm probably going to live. Damn it. So.
Yeah, and then you don't die, and then what happens?
Beat up for nothing. So how long do you anticipate it'll be before your next book comes out?
Probably sometime before the summer. Let's put it that way. I'll be working on the next book. I'm going to go back and finish that Gemstone series. I'm going to write the Diamond Warrior had been going around in my head now. That story had been working in my head. The House of Sun and Shadow, I actually got a second book coming out in that one. So that looked like it's going to become a series too. But I'm going to concentrate on finishing the Gemstone series because, I have to finish at some point. and I really want to write the House of Sun and Shadow. So I'm going to finish the Gemstone series, get that one done, and then I can have time to work on the next two. And I should get back to writing sci-fi.
Yeah.
I keep saying that, but I keep writing other stuff.
Well, when you do, you've got my email. Shoot me a message. We'd love to have you back on.
Oh, sure.
Because you're a blast. To talk with, as far as you've got so much experience with everything from murder to football. So yeah, I would love to have you back on. So.
All right. I told one person, and this would be my swan song out of here, I guess. I told one person, they were talking about murder and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's like, so would you bury people in your backyard? I said, sure. You bury them vertically because, you get more people back there.
Just got to dig the hole deeper. So.
Well, that is the problem. You have to dig a little deeper, but, you get many more bodies back there.
It's funny you say that. I had a friend message me on Facebook recently and go, hey, you know about public safety stuff, don't you? And I said, yeah, a little bit. And he goes, do all police officers have ground radar where they can search the ground? I'm like, wait, what? I was like, where's your wife? All right, James. Well, thank you for coming back on. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And unfortunately, I won't root for your Giants, but I will definitely.
We play this weekend.
Yo, we do, don't we?
We do.
I
we
might
play
have
this
to.
weekend.
I might have to email you. We're gonna. Well, I don't know.
I may have to root for you guys because I still want that first pick.
Yeah. Well, who can lose worse is the problem.
That's the problem.
Tie.
Yeah. I used to be able to say at least we're not Washington. You know, now I can't say that because you guys are ahead of us.
Oh, we'll have to send a message back and forth and go at it some. But I have a friend that's a Cowboys fan, and he can't understand the hate and animosity. I'm a good friend of his, but when it comes to that, oh man, drop a nuclear bomb on them. Screw you on that day.
I have nephews and stuff who are Cowboy fans. I would talk to my sister. My nephew was there, and she got very mad because we started going back and forth about football. She hates football.
The old-fashioned rivalry isn't what it used to be.
I'm a Cowboys fan, Glenn. If I had authority to eject you from the show, I would.
You're a Cowboy fan?
No, I'm only a Cowboy fan by being raised one, because my grandfather was a diehard Cowboy.
Well, that's how it is. You know, everybody in my family is Giant fan, or else they're not in my family.
And then
including my nephew.
And then my kids' side of the family are all Browns fans.
Well, that's because you live there, you know.
All right. Well, I won't hold the Browns against you, but the Cowboys, yeah. Get off my lawn. So, all right, James, have a great night. Thank you for coming on. We'll see you again next time. All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye. Oh, Harley. Besides for you being a Cowboys fan, it was a great show. So. You're not perfect. So.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, that's one opinion.
Hey, I don't root for them. I just, when I think about my grandpa when they play. So
yeah, I guess there's that. My kids don't think about me when they hate football. They hate sports. So
I'm not a big sports fan though. So.
Well, I want to thank everybody in Australia for allowing us to tune in and to WRFN, WZQR. Thank you. And you can find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Thin Line Rock Station, spinning records. So go to www.thethinlinerockstation.com, noon till 2, and check me out there, spinning records. And then I will be back here tomorrow playing with the Sportcat Daily Gazette, and then we'll start the whole thing over and go round and round for another week. Harley, where are you going to be?
Saturday we have 1957 music bracket part 3, 2. I don't know, 2. I think it is.
Okay, well, everybody go over and check out Harley's show. And once again, to Dare Talk Radio, Radio Australia, thank you guys and gals for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow with Sportcat's Daily Gazette. Everybody on YouTube, hang around a second because, well, the go live button is not there again. Everybody have a great night in Australia, or day in Australia. And I will see you tonight on the Sportcat Daily Gazette. Here we are. So, I don't know what the hell the studio just did. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. Where is that? Where did that logo come from? I have no idea. What the heck? All right, everybody. Have a great night. I'm going to hit end stream and we will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Well, this is more than a technical glitch. I don't have a clue what it's doing, Harley. Oh, for the love of God. Hang on.